Welcome to the newest RV interview. I'm here today with author Tawdra Kandle, who posts on her bio that she has purple hair, and indeed she does. It's lovely. I love your purple hair.
Thank you.
Very cute.
Thank you.
How often do you have to do that to keep it that lovely shade?
At first, I used to have to do it about every 3 to 6 months, but now it just grows in that way.
It grows. No,
wouldn't it be nice?
Say, seriously?
Wouldn't it be nice?
Wow.
No. One of my daughters actually went to cosmetology school, and now she took over. So, but I still only have to do it about every 5 months.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
well, it probably blends in at a certain point, but it's really pretty. I love that.
Thank you.
So, do any of your characters have purple hair?
Not yet.
Not yet.
They might have to, though. We might have to incorporate that at some point.
Work it in there.
Yeah.
So I saw on your bio, too, that you write across a ton of genres.
I do.
Yeah. Do you have a favorite out of those? Or tell us, first of all, all of them that you do.
Okay. Well, I have... everything is romance. That's a given. Other than that, though, I have some paranormal, and I have some new adult contemporary, and some adult contemporary. So that's probably it. My favorite is probably the new adult contemporary. It's really fun to write about that age group.
I was just going to ask you, I hear people talk about it, but since I don't write it, I've never really quite grasped what it is.
Yeah, and it really has changed over the years. When it first started, when new adult first started, it was like, super sexy and a lot of angst, and we used to joke that somebody had to come to college with a secret and some kind of problem.
So it's college age kids?
Well, it can be, but it can go all the way up to the early to mid 20s. It's really just that time of transition when you're not quite a full adult yet, maybe. They like to think they are. I have a lot of new adults in my life, but not in high school anymore.
Yeah.
So it kind of goes from maybe 18 to 25. That's
so high school is the young adult, and then when they're out of high school, then it becomes a new adult.
Exactly.
Fascinating.
Exactly. Yeah.
The industry has changed so much, and that's one of the things I had never heard of back. Yeah. I mean, I've been writing for a really long time, so that's sort of a new wave in the industry, and it seems to be doing really well.
It is. It kind of calmed down after a while. There was a lot of, that if you wrote new adult, you kind of shoot to the top right away, and now it's kind of just come down to a nice, not extension of YA, but a nice alternate for kids in high school, because generally it ages down. So a lot of kids who are reading YA are in middle school. And a lot of the people who are reading new adult are in high school. So
did not know that.
Yeah.
So that's your biggest readership, you think? Is that?
No, probably even the older generation. When I say older, I don't mean they're as old as me, but
you're young.
Feeling older every day. Between say 35 and 40 is a really good market for that too.
That's where you're at with it.
Yeah, I have some youngers, but a lot of it is the like 35, 45. So, yeah.
I think my demographic, whatever you would call it, I think is older. But it's hard to tell. It just seems like the people that hang out on my Facebook page and stuff, not as old as me, but they're not high schoolers, they're not college kids.
Yeah, it's hard to tell though, because Facebook is now becoming a place of a next generation hanging out, not the younger kids. I mean, my kids are between 17 and 29, and they really aren't on Facebook anymore.
So where are they going? Twitter? Instagram?
Instagram, Snapchat. Oh,
Snapchat. Yeah, I've never done. Yeah, I know. My boys all do Snapchat. I've never done it.
Yeah. I have it, but I don't.
That's more of that changing stuff. I remember back when we had just chat rooms somewhere on the internet that you hung out in, or message boards.
Right. Yes.
And then Facebook kind of landed with a big old bang.
Yeah. When Diana Gabaldon wrote The Outlander, the first one, she was on the chat rooms. That's where we talked to her. It was way back, and that's been what, 25 years ago, something like that.
Math is not my strong suit.
No, but it's been a long time.
I'll write you a paragraph, but I can't do math.
Me neither, yeah.
I'm terrible at it.
Yeah.
So I love your cover. I think this is so adorable. Do you have a lot of input on the covers, or?
This was funny. I came to my cover artist last year and said, I have an idea for a book, and that I have a picture, and I'm not a visual person. So, I don't picture my characters. I can tell you about what they like to eat, what they like to do.
So you don't get an image of them in your head?
No, I don't. Maybe eventually I do, but it's more about their actions, their emotions than it is the actual. So my cover artists are usually like, well, what do you want on it? And I'm going, I don't know, make it pretty. And I say, my job is to go, ooh, you did a good job, and that's it. But this time I really had an idea, and I said, I see like a ball gown and sneakers. And my cover artist said, I think I have an idea. And within an hour, she
Yeah.
had it. She had it to me and done. And we were like,
Because it's the
okay.
anti-Cinderella,
Anti-Cinderella,
and it's
yeah.
super cute. I love it.
Yeah.
I'm not a fancy schmancy person, so if I was ever forced into a ball gown, I might be wearing. Well, I just wouldn't be at my age, but when I was younger, that would have
Yeah.
been me. Yeah,
Yeah. That's, yeah. I love the idea of,
So you have the control on the covers.
yes, I do. Yeah.
That's good.
I do. Yeah.
And you
I like
hire do you work with the same person on the covers?
I
or-
work with mainly two different cover artists, Meg Murray, who did this one, and Stacy Blake of Champagne Design has done some of my other ones, and she does all my formatting too. So
Now, this is another thing that's entirely different. All the independent publishing, which is so viable and such an important part of the industry now
yeah.
that didn't used to be.
Yeah.
And we've got all the digital books and Amazon, and there's just everything has changed so much.
Yeah.
I've had a hard time keeping up, but I have a little bit just to where I always believed that anybody that wrote a book was an author,
Exactly.
you know,
Yeah.
but I think it's awesome that there's so many different venues now for people in some ways, but in other ways there's not. So we've got all the independent publishing now, but we're losing bookstores.
Yeah.
So
It's really, that's hard for me because I love a good bookstore. And at least in our area though, I've seen a lot of small independent bookstores have been popping up. So
there was
that's cool.
was it PW report that said the independent bookstores are making a huge comeback?
And see, I think that's great.
I think everything's cyclical. So
I
I
think it
think
is
they
too.
may have fallen to the wayside a little bit as Amazon, really felt its weight. And then I think they're
Definitely.
gradually coming back.
Yeah.
I hope.
I think so. I hope so too, because I love a good bookstore. And most of the independent bookstores in our area, I know the people who own them, and I, will go in and chat with them, and it's
And they
it's
love
very cool.
books.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, if you have somebody who loves books, you have an
a kindred
automatic.
spirit,
Yeah,
yeah.
exactly.
I know in one of our malls that was close to us, there used to be all in one mall. There was a Walden Books, a Little Professor, a B. Dalton, and a Barnes and Noble.
Yeah.
And I and my boys would go just to each and every one of them,
Yep.
picking out different books and stuff.
Yeah.
And now there's a Barnes and Noble out here that sponsors the event. They set up the on-site bookstore, and there's really not another one near us. So,
Yeah, they're going. We have quite a few near us, and Books A Million we also have near us.
what area are you in?
Central Florida.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So we still have some, but I don't go as often as I used to because I can get the book on my phone.
I know. So that's it. We've
on my
all gotten
phone,
to where
right?
we just want to quickly, well, I've done that. If I'm reading someone that I'm really enjoying and I'm thinking, oh, this character seems like they might be in the next book, you jump
Right.
on Amazon and you order it.
Right,
And
exactly.
so I can see why the bookstores are having a problem.
Yeah.
I also know young people really like that atmosphere again. So I
Yeah.
think that's bringing them back in.
I think so too. I know only one of my 4 children read ebooks.
Oh,
And that's
good.
the oldest.
Yeah.
The other ones all are like, no, we want the real book in our hands. So.
Now my oldest and my youngest like to hold a book. My middle son is a big digital reader.
Yeah.
So he'll read on his phone. I'm like,
Yeah,
how can you
that's
even
what I do.
see it on your phone?
I know.
I would need like a really big room so I could see it real well. And then it's awkward in the bathtub, which is where I do most of my reading. So
I have a fear of dropping my phone in the bathtub.
Oh, I bet,
So,
yeah.
I do. I'll have it like out and I hold it like that. So, you can just see my husband say, I knew that was going to happen.
So what's your writing schedule? How many books do you put out a year? What's the next book out?
Last year I wrote 15 books and produced 15 books last year.
goodness.
It was
That was a grueling year,
It
I
was
bet.
an insane year, yes.
Was that a self-imposed
It was,
goal?
yes,
that you...
it was. Yeah, we had a change in situation in our family. My husband's a priest, and the church had to kind of reconfigure how they did things, and churches are kind of hitting the same thing that bookstores are in a sense. And so suddenly I was the breadwinner, and so I said, guess what? I have to put out a lot more books right now.
Zone out and sit down and write.
Exactly. So I did. I had already had a set schedule, and I added 6 books to the mix and put them out every 3 weeks, and they were the career soldier military ones. And it was crazy. And I said, okay, I got to June. I said, I'm taking the summer off because my 3rd daughter was getting ready to go to college, and I wanted the time with her. So this
Probably
year,
just time to breathe after
just
that
time to
many
breathe,
books.
just time
Holy
to
cow.
sleep, right? I mean, so
This is not, I don't ever want to pretend that writing is the hardest job in the world, because it's not. We are so lucky to get to do what we do.
Exactly.
But it's very taxing on your brain. I know a lot of times when I finish a book, I feel like I need a really, really long nap.
A long nap, maybe a nice glass of wine, a little vacation. I'll take all of those.
Totally separate from the book world. I'll go see a movie, take a little road trip somewhere, and then come back and start fresh.
It is. It's kind of have to do that, and that's so I decided to do it again this year to take the break. This came out on May 15th, and I won't have another release until fall. So.
Take a breather.
Yeah.
Because even if you're not right in the middle of producing the book, there's promo that has to be done with a book release. There's a lot of stuff that goes with it.
Exactly.
You don't just drop a book and then ignore it and hope it does well. You have to
well,
make
you
it
could try, but it probably is not a great idea.
Probably wouldn't work out well.
No. And so when I say I'm taking a break, I'm not releasing. I'm not actively releasing anything. I probably will have some box sets come out of my previous works, but I'll be working the backlist.
Right.
And I'll be, and the characters are still talking. There's going to be the next book in this series will come out in February. So I've already started that. But I don't have the pressure. I can sit down and write 2 pages and feel like, okay, that's good. Yeah. So, it's not too bad.
How many pages do you generally do? People ask me this, and it varies 1,000 times for me. But do you have a general page count you try to do each day?
Not page count. Word count, yes. If I'm actively writing a book, I try to do between 5,000 and 7,000 words a day.
How many does that equal out to a page? Because I'm not very good.
It's like, well,
I get about 200
math again.
I know. I get about 205 words a page.
It's like 200. I think the word doc they say is 250. The average is 250 words a page. So that would make me do dividing. So
I can't do math at all. Yeah,
it's a bunch of pages.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah. I know. I'm usually happy if I can get 10 pages done. If I get 12, 15, I call it a really good day.
Oh yeah. And if there's no pressure, that's what I like to do. Is just say, okay, I'll sit down and do this, and then get up and do something else. If I'm at the end of a book, I just can't stop. Sometimes I'll do 15,000 in a day, but it's just
So are the endings easier for you than the beginnings, or vice versa?
I think the middle.
Oh, good God. That's the first time I've ever heard that. Oh,
really?
The hardest.
The hardest.
Oh, I thought you were going to say it was the easiest.
Oh, no. The ending I always know. The beginning usually comes pretty quickly because I've been thinking about it for a long time. The middles are,
I thought you were going to say the middle was the
easiest.
No. So that's almost across the board the hardest part.
Yeah, that's the hardest part. The endings I always know. Sometimes I have to I'll go ahead and write the ending just to say, okay, I've written it, and now I'm going to get there.
Oh, really?
So, yeah.
So you jump ahead?
Sometimes, yeah. It gives me a little bit of motivation.
It's interesting. Every author's so different. I start at the beginning and write all the way to the end. Beginnings are easy because everything's fresh and new, and you're just making it up as you go along, and then you got to tie it all together in the end. So the ends are a little tougher for me, but
yeah. Well, with romance, as long as everybody ends up relatively happy.
And my husband always has suggestions on, just say this at the end. I'm like, don't help. Don't help.
Yeah, exactly. Very true. Very true.
So when's the next one out? Remind me again.
Sometime in the fall.
Okay.
I'm thinking it's in my football series. The next one of this one is coming out in February. Okay. But my next release is in probably about mid-fall because I try to release a football book during football season because I'm a huge football fan. So
there you go.
It's like
Readers can find you on Facebook?
On Facebook, on Instagram, on Twitter, on my website.
It's all over. We have to cover all those bases now. It's crazy.
All those bases, yeah.
That's the other thing that's changed. Used to, you didn't have all the social media we had to deal with. You sat down and you wrote your book. Now you've got to write your book and talk. I love talking to the readers, but it's another...
Yeah, it's another responsibility.
Right, yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it definitally is.
So. Well, Tawdra, thank you so much for coming by. I very much enjoyed this. Best of luck. I'm in awe of that many books. I can't even begin to imagine. Start calling you Superwoman, get you a cape or something. I don't know. But thank you, and congratulations on all the releases.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.